Howdy, howdy everybody. It's good to be with you again today, and I'm fortunate to have a special guest star, Libby Sesser, who's the Poobatrix for the auction this year. And she and I are trying to work up a musical act. So in honor of Sonny Osborne, famous banjo player and member of the Osborne Brothers who died this last Sunday, we were sort of working on trying to get a little bit of My Destiny under our belts. Yeah. First, I got to hang up my mask by the old country fireplace. And now, let's see. You ready to try this again?
I'm ready.
All right, we're first two verses of My Destiny.
Okay.
All right? Okay, here we go. Cursed with sorrow and with woe, full of feelings I can't show, a future without love for me, is this my destiny? I think we have hope.
That was really good, if I do say so with myself, just because I had Monsignor's guidance there. Hopefully you can edit out my voice.
Are you kidding?
Thank you for including me, though, in the musical kickoff of our interview.
You know, we got to sing. If it weren't for singing, life wouldn't be worth living.
Agreed. Agreed.
Well, anyway, Libby's here to speak to us, I think, about the auction, the school auction coming up. So I'm going to shut up now and take it away.
Well, thank you, Monsignor. I appreciate you having me today, and so does the school. I did bring you a beer, just one, and I know that it's only 12:30 today. Do you like Modelo?
Oh, it's cold.
Oh, it's cold even. You can put it in your refrigerator, because I do a little Monsignor impression, if you don't mind.
No, go
You're
ahead.
always saying, I'm a beer man in a wine parish.
That's the truth of it.
And so I figured I'd bring you a beer, but let you know that I also really love beer, almost to the extent where I have to just entertain non-alcoholic beer these days. But maybe we can crack this beer at some point when it's not noon one day and talk all about whatever you'd like to.
Do you know that Tom T. Hall number, I Like Beer?
No, I don't.
Oh,
well, that's for our next interview. Can we talk about that in our next interview?
You bet.
Okay.
I like beer. It makes me a jolly good fellow, right?
I love it. All right, business at hand. The Visitation auction is coming up November 12th. And it is the 100th year of Visitation School. So we're celebrating our centennial year. The school opened in 1921, and here we are in 2021. And so it's a big celebration for not only our school, but our parish. And already we want to say thank you so much. We've had tremendous amounts of donations already being made. About a month ago, I sent everybody in the parish on behalf of our auction team, as well as grandparents and families at Viz, the opportunity to donate to our auction with a little history about where that money goes to support our school. The auction is the biggest fundraiser, in addition to several others that we're so grateful that you support. And whether or not you've had a child attend Viz in the past, or have a child there now, or maybe have a child there in the future, or never had a child at all at Visitation, we really rely on the support of our parish and feel that wholeheartedly, not only in donations, but just being a part of this community together. So on November 12th, we're taking our auction to Hotel Kansas City this year for this big centennial celebration. Those seats and whatnot are, to be used by our Visitation parents who are current, but that doesn't mean that you can't bid and buy auction items. So coming up, Megan will share with you on the Facebook site, and you can go to visitationauction.com and find all the information about the auction, as well as registering your phone or your computer to make some bids on our awesome auction items. We've got an incredible team of folks and parents at Visitation who have been working hard to put this auction together, and we are really, really excited about all the things that we have. A couple other ways to support: we're selling centennial ornaments, which are beautiful hand-blown glass ornaments, and those can also be found on our site. Those are $10 on visitationauction.com. Megan also put that on the Facebook site. And if you don't have access to computer or that's not really your shtick, you can always call the parish office or the school, and we'll set aside an ornament for you. And then the last way is our a Pew raffle. So Visitation Parish has generously donated a pew for a Christmas Mass or Christmas Eve Mass, whichever you choose. So you buy a raffle ticket, they are $100 each and only 100 are sold. And you buy the raffle ticket and hopefully your name is chosen, and then you'll get the pew of your choosing as well as parking at Christy and Ryan Larson's, who are just right across the way and are Visitation parishioners. So those are all different ways to help support the auction, and we're grateful for your generosity and your support. So thanks.
Thanks for coming in and telling us about it.
Yeah,
Now,
that was a lot.
Well, no, it wasn't too much.
Okay, good.
You know, the history since I've been here anyway is to have the auction over at the school, and man, they really dolled it up. And this year the decision was obviously made to have it someplace else. Why was that?
You know, we've just come off of a pandemic year. Last year our auction was virtual. The people that organized that, Lindsay Anderson and her whole team, Mary Elizabeth Smith and Jen Grammer, did just a fantastic job with our virtual auction. And now that we are able to gather again, you know, with safety measures in mind, and because it's the centennial year, we figured this would be the opportunity to maybe see what taking it off campus could do, you know, to help boost our community, even though, you know, we won't be at school, and kind of make it a unique year to do so. And then in years going forward, the auction can always be moved back to the school, or if this happens to be some big hit, you know, maybe they can make some decisions. So I'm glad you asked, though.
Well, I don't have a strong, you know, opinion about it either way. Well, whatever best supports the school, I just wondered about it.
Yeah.
Where is the Kansas City Hotel?
So Hotel Kansas City is 1228 Baltimore. It's actually the old Kansas City Club, which is a building that was erected also in the 1920s and used to be kind of a social club for men. And you could join this club and have a place to go to lunch. There was a pool and a lot of different things. Lots of famous members, actually, including some presidents and famous Kansas Cityans. And now it is home to Hotel Kansas City. Over the years, it changed into a few different things, but it's been bought recently. And if you haven't been down, which you will on November 12th,
I'll be there.
because you'll be there, because I need you to sit to bless the crowd and
I'll
enjoy the food.
As long as I can sing.
Yeah, as long.
Just kidding.
I hope you'll sing. Maybe we should come up with another duet for that night. But that's where it is. So people might know it as the old Kansas City Club, but it is now home to Hotel Kansas City.
That helps out a lot.
Yeah.
Where do you park?
So there's valet parking, which is wonderful. There's also several different opportunities for street parking and different areas to park, in covered parking. And all of that information will be on our website. So that's a good question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chancery's pretty close there. I wonder if I could park at the Chancery.
I bet you could, and just walk it down. You could also Uber. Uber is a good option for the night. Not for you.
Not for me. No, not for me. Well, anyway, okay. I know where that is. I think I was there one time years and years and years ago. I think I was in a seminary.
Were you?
And the bishop at the time, Bishop John J. Sullivan, was a member there.
Okay.
And I think he treated the seminarians or the priests. Maybe I was a newly ordained priest. Anyway, that was the only time I was ever in there. And I remember it was a real fancy place. Wood paneling everywhere.
Wood paneling.
And people running around in starched white uniforms. Whoa, boy, I thought I had arrived.
Well, it sounds like you may have.
This isn't how we did things at Ernie's in Sugar Creek. So that was my only time to go in there.
Well, and what they've done with the hotel is absolutely fantastic. They've modernized it in a lot of ways, but they've kept that beautiful wood paneling and this gorgeous stained glass and this Tudor ballroom. And so it is still a venue for events. You know, I know that they've had several weddings and whatnot as things have been able to get back to gathering. But yeah, I think you'll recognize it and be rather impressed with what they've done with the hotel. So
Yeah, well, as I say, I was only in there once, but it was
Yeah.
memorable.
well, and Hotel Kansas City is owned by some parishioners, and they've been so generous to you know, allow us to have it there, and we're really looking forward to a really fun night. So.
Parishioners own it, huh?
Yeah, they do.
I'll be
Several.
darned.
Yeah.
Well,
There
golly
you have
gee.
it.
All right, well, super. And
Well,
thanks
thank you.
for the beer.
Yes, it's cold and all, and maybe you can
Man.
enjoy it later or whenever.
Yeah, sometime I will. It won't go to waste, I
Okay,
promise
good.
you.
I'm glad. Thanks for having me, Monsignor.
Libby, my pleasure. Thank you for all your hard work.
Thanks. It's
And-
been teamwork, so thanks.
Yeah, I understand. And so, shall I go to the other stuff now? Okay. The producer tells me that the parish office is going to be closed tomorrow morning. That's because every year, parish staffs throughout the diocese are encouraged to come to this thing they called Parish Staff Day, where we all sit in a great big room and listen to somebody go on and on about some item of ostensible pastoral importance. So I don't know. What's the subject tomorrow? Do you know? You don't know? Well, whatever it
Clearly,
is.
Megan is thrilled to come tomorrow.
Okay. Well, no. She did it. I don't blame her. So anyway, we'll be down there tomorrow.
There's 2 presenters.
Oh, 2.
God's Mission Has Us by David Butel
Yeah.
and Equipped for Mission, Father Donald Gibbs.
I see. Well, I'll be darned. So it sounds like the subject is mission in some sense.
It does.
All right. Well, we'll go down and listen to those fellas. And the office will reopen tomorrow, no later, it says here, than 2 p.m. when
I
we will
hope they're
be.
serving you lunch.
Oh, they probably will, for those who are into that kind of thing. Anyway, we will be collapsed from exhaustion after a hard day of listening to those guys, but we'll be around. Now, I want to mention this. Friday at 6:30 p.m. is the annual Diocesan Red Mass. Now, you might not know what in the world a Red Mass is, so I'll tell you. It is a traditional kind of devotion for the legal community. And of course, you can't swing a cat at Visitation without hitting 4 or 5 lawyers. I just thought I would mention this to you, So Friday night at 6:30, it's a mass. Oh, and it's a high-tone mass. I'm telling you, they got an MC, and there'll be some concelebrants, and the bishop will be here to celebrate the mass, no less. So if you're an attorney and you want to get a dose of piety, that'll be a good thing. Friday at 6:30 p.m., Special Attorney's Red Mass. Next Tuesday, of course, is All Souls Day. And the custom at Visitation is to have an All Souls Day service in the evening on the 2nd of November. And this year we will do that also. It's going to be at 6 p.m. There was some controversy about that, 6 or 7, but I think we've been told it is at 6. 6. I hope so, because I have someplace I have to be at 7. So 6 p.m. Tuesday night, and that'll be a good thing. Of course, the 1st is All Saints' Day, which is ordinarily a holy day of obligation, but because it falls on Monday, it is not obligatory this year. And I guess that's it. I want to mention one more thing, though. Is that okay, producer? I'll do it real fast. Many of you may know that this room that the producer and Libby and I are sitting in used to be Visitation Church. Now, of course, it's the narthex, but it used to be the whole thing. And of course, in those days there was a high altar pretty much here where the doors are. And like in every high altar, there would have been a statue atop it that reflected the patron of the parish. Now that's over with. And of course, it was a statue of the Visitation, Elizabeth and Mary coming together. Well, when that high altar was taken down and the church was remodeled in the early 1970s, that statue ended up in a dumpster. And somebody around here saw it in there and fetched it out of that dumpster, put it in a cardboard box. It was in pieces, actually. And there it sat in the church basement for decades.
Actually, it was in someone's house for decades before they returned it to us after the 2004 renovation.
I see.
Wow.
How interesting. Okay, thank you for that little tidbit, producer. And anyway, when the producer, in another one of her many roles on the parish staff, was working earlier this summer, or late in the spring, to kind of throw out some junk around here, because like every parish, you know, we collect junk as we march through life. This statue, she discovered it. And, you know, because I had read that parish history book they put out about 10, 15 years ago, I recognized what it was. And you know, I wanted to salvage it from, you know, the basement. So we had it repaired pretty nicely, turned out pretty darn nice, and we enshrined it on the stairs here behind me, going down the stairs. When you're going down there, you'll see the great big, super gigantic crucifix from the early 1970s renovation of Visitation. And then immediately to the left, you'll see the old high altar statue in a niche that looks like it was just made for it. So I just encourage you to have a look at that, and you'll know that statue was in here, I guess, from when the church opened in 1915 until it was renovated in the early 1970s. It's kind of neat, I think, if you're into history and such.
Yeah. I noticed it coming up the stairwell, and it looks beautiful.
Pretty nice.
So it is.
Yeah, pretty nice. So, you know, in all my time at Visitation, if I don't get nothing done, I'll at least know I was able to effect the restoration of that statue. Okay? All right. Madam